Sarah, now the topic for today's discussion is very simple, very easy, which every living being would have heard about. And the topic is charity. Now, what is charity? Just breaking down the points that we need to discuss or understand about the word and the act or deed called charity. First is, what is charity? Is charity your responsibility? Why should one do charity? There is a set of business enterprises which do charity. A small few words on that as well. And how to do charity. Now, what is charity? There is nothing much to talk about. Every person knows what is charity. Every living being knows what is charity. Giving back to the society and the mankind in any manner is charity. What you earn, a part of your earnings giving away for somebody else's benefit is charity. For someone who is in need. So that is charity in one word or one statement. Now, is charity your responsibility? Yes, I am. You have to take a step back and understand why there is a necessity for charity, why there is a need for charity. Charity is a necessity only when the administration of the state or the government has failed. When there is a society and we live in this society where we pay our taxes, the responsibility of welfare of the citizens and everybody in the society is in the hands of the head of the state or head of the governance, whether it was Maharajas in earlier days or the chief ministers or the prime ministers of any country, president of any country for that matter, any head of the country who is collecting the taxes, direct, indirect, and all sorts of taxes. It is that administration's responsibility to take care of the welfare of the people in the society. There have been developed countries in the Western world, completely developed countries, and there are countries even in Middle East. There are many countries who are fully developed. They are very opulent, very rich. There is nothing called charity. For their own society, they do the charity, they collect the money, not for the people residing in their own country, but for the mankind. So there are such countries where charity is not a necessity, yet they do charity. So, concept of charity is that whenever there is inadequate resources due to which the mankind is suffering collectively or individually, and when we help that with our resources, which is in surplus with us, when we give that away, that is charity. And the misconception is, the moment the word charity comes into picture, people say, link it to money, financial participation. It is not necessary. It is not necessary that charity has to be done with your surplus money or money that you have. There are different types of charity. Vidyadana, charity in our native land is dana. Dana means giving it. Vidyadana is a charity which is giving free education. Arogyadana is again a charity. Then comes the giving away food. Even giving the forgiveness is also called as a dana, which is called kshamadana. Giving food is a charity. Giving education is a charity. Ensuring good health for another person is a charity. Even offering forgiveness is a charity. So there are different types of charity. Charity is not necessary that it has to be a financial participation. Helping somebody without any selfish interest. The key to charity is that you don't have any selfish interest or money. You don't seek any selfish benefits. You don't seek any recognition. You don't seek any prominence. You don't seek any situation where you take advantages of what you have done. Then it is not a charity, it is pure transaction. A transaction, if you receive anything in lieu of this deed that you have committed in the name of charity, then it is no longer a charity for me. There is no charity involved, including getting a prominence or a recognition for what you have done. If you are seeking that, your charitable cause or deed has no effect. It no longer remains a charity, it just becomes a transaction. This is as per the Shastras. This is as per the preachings and teachings of every religious scripture, not just Hinduism or Christianity or Islam or anywhere. Every religion says the same thing. In Hindi there is a saying, अगर हमने बाएं हाथ से दान दिया तो दाएं हाथ को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए, दाएं हाथ से दान दिया तो बाएं हाथ को पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. What it means is, if you do charity from your right hand, your left hand should not know. If you do a charity from your left hand, your right hand should not know. That is there in every religious scripture. The way you should do charity is nobody should know. Most important thing about charity is that the receiver should not know who is giving him. This is as per the Shastras. This is as per the teachings of every religion. Dana, once it is given, the receiver, first thing, the receiver should not know. In lieu of what you have given, if you receive anything, even if it is recognition, even if it is attention, even if it is as a bargaining chip, that I sponsored, medical equipments to a hospital, but when I or somebody who is known to me has to get a free treatment or a priority treatment in that particular hospital, then it's a trade-off. The other thing is, we should not brag about charity. We should not boast about the charity. We should not tell anybody what we have done. These principles followed, then what your deed of giving back to the society and the mankind becomes a charity. Otherwise, it is a transaction. Very clear about it. As per every scripture. As per the law of karma also, there is no trade-off here. Now, there is another question. Is paying a tax a charity? Well, it is yes and no. Every person who lives in any country pays tax, direct, indirect, in different names and fees, or the administration cost, and different names are there, taxes or collection. The state, the government collects taxes in different forms, collects money from you from different forms. So the responsibility of welfare of the mankind, citizens of that state or government, that country yours, is of the government. So your contribution towards that is partly charity also. Let us face it this way, for the smooth functioning of the society, you are contributing, which benefits you also. Good infrastructure benefits you. It's all taxpayers' money. But some portion of it is also for people who are in despair. So that small portion is also, yes, you can consider it as a charity, a charitable act, promptly paying the taxes and everything. So why should one do the charity? This is what is charity. Why should one do charity? We can argue that we pay the taxes regularly. Taxpayer, fantastic. I mean, they are the greatest assets to any nation. They give their sweat and blood, earn their money, run their families, and also pay the taxes. So they are the greatest assets to any nation. But despite that, when we have understood what is charity, it is not necessary that it is financial charity only. Shramadana, Vidyadana, Kshamadana, Dhanyadana, Arogyadana. There are several types of it. Shramadana is also a dana, is a charity. When we know one great Indian who has done a great work of reforestation in Northeast. He reforested the whole region there, which had become almost a desert kind of. So that was a great charitable work for the society. So it is not necessary that charity means it is money. Charity also means prayers. You pray for somebody's well-being. Is also charity. Somebody has got a physical labor to do. Somebody has to clean their move their lawn, and they are due to whatever situation, their age or physical condition, they can't do that. You help them. You actually mow their lawn or do up their house. Is also a shramadana. That is also a charity. What happens? Speaking about charity, how it helps you in your physical health. You can ask any psychiatrist. I think serotonin or dopamine, oxytocin, these happy enzymes gets released when you help somebody. That helps your body. That is clinical. Otherwise also, it is always necessary to take charity as one of our virtues. What it develops within us is selflessness. Doing something without any expectation. That whether it takes you closer to God or not, it will take you closer to yourself. When you do that and look at yourself in the mirror, you feel nice about yourself. You feel good about yourself because you've done something absolutely selfless. You're not being selfless. So charity is one of the greatest virtues one should always develop. It's a very beautiful thing. So let me reiterate that charity does not mean it is only a financial help. No, any kind of charity. It's a beautiful experience. It helps your health. It helps your psychological condition. It gives you a confidence. You can look at yourself in the mirror and feel good about yourself. Only you. Because you have done it without any expectations, recognition, no trade-off. So that is a very beautiful virtue to develop or have. Now, there is this a little gray area where the facilitators of charity. There are a lot of individuals, lot of organizations and institutions which collect money and all sorts of resources or anything from one person or a group of people and give it to another needy people, set of needy people. Does that come as a charity? Yes, it is Shramadana, no doubt. They are putting up their labor, their time, efforts without any selfish interest. Those organizations, definitely, that is a charity. That certainly is a charity. There are certain organizations which take some cut, maybe 20%, 30%. They are surviving on the charity. So they are facilitators of charity. That is, what they are doing is not charity. And there's another set of people, particularly in spiritual arena. They collect money from everybody in the name of spirituality, in the name of God, in every religion. And part of what they have collected, they give it on charity, rest they retain it within themselves. That is not charity. They have no right to say that they have done the charity. Collecting money from somebody, let us say I collect 100 rupees from 10 people and then retain about 50 rupees, 60 rupees or 70 rupees and balance I give it on charity, so called. Is that really charity? No, it is not. And that is getting pretty rampant and people are craving for donations and in the name of charity that we do this, we do that. The best way of doing charity is to earn our money. First thing we should do is discharge our duties towards our dependents. Then what you are left with in surplus, part of that, save some for rainy days and part of it do charity. Because first thing you should understand is you are responsible for your people who are dependent on you. Can be your wife, or your husband, your children, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, or whatever, members of the family, or just whoever is dependent directly on you, you can't deprive them of anything and then do charity, no. Securing them is the first responsibility. Is charity a responsibility? Yes, it is. But when it is a responsibility, when you have enough and more surplus, it is not necessary that you should have $1 million. If your requirement is about, let's say, 10,000 rupees and you earn 20,000 rupees, out of which you spend 10,000, saves 5,000-6,000, of balance left some amount to do charity. First, you have to secure yourself and your dependents. And in your surplus is what you should do is charity. The most important thing, the secret of charity being done selflessly, without any trade off, without any selfish interest, whether recognition or trade off or a transaction. No, none of that, without even anybody getting to know. Karma phala, when we know. Charity is the only virtue which will wipe out your bad karmas. What does law of karma say? Law of karma doesn't negate your bad karma with your good karma. If we have committed something wrong for which we have to pay, we have to suffer. Just because we have committed something good, what we have committed wrong does not get negated or does not get reduced. It doesn't negate. The only thing it negates is charity. In the law of karma, when we do selfless work, your sufferings comes down. That's the only way of reducing your bad or evil karmas. Your situations, your suffering in a nutshell, your sufferings will recede only with charity, not with anything else. That is why every guru, every religious scripture advocates charity. That is the most secret ingredient of charity. But the caveat or the condition is that selfless, not even recognition. The receiver of your act or your charity or your charitable deed should also not know who is a giver. You have to be that discreet about doing it. Whether it is Shramadhana, Vidyadana, Arogyadana, Dhanadana, or Dhanya Dhana, any kind of dana, any kind of charity, the receiver should not know. So that is the secret of charity. That is how important is charity. That is the only way you can reduce your sufferings and pain. So this is all about charity. What is charity? What is the necessity of charity? How to do charity? What happens when we do charity? Charitable enterprises. These are the topics which we have completed today. I pray to all the devotees and disciples of Sri Sai Baba, as well as every believer of every religion, caste, creed and sect, to be happy, to be opulent, to be in a state to do something for the society, for the mankind, for the nature, for the animals, in any manner, and be charitable and live a peaceful life. That's all is my prayer. Thank you so much. Saipanth.